What's up, guys? We got a first place deck profile with what is your name and what did you win first place with?
Casey and I was playing Queen today.
Queen, nice.
Yeah.
So why Queen out of all the other leaders?
So I was trying a couple different decks, and I was like, oh, let me try Queen. I saw a fun list, and I played it, and I realized it's a lot of fun. I never want to play it against it, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play it myself, and it just feels really strong against so many matchups. So
Okay,
it's,
that's
yeah.
cool. All right, would you be playing Queen for the regionals coming up for LA?
I don't know about LA, but there is a regional next week coming up, online one. I'm going to play Queen in.
Okay,
and
good.
I'll see about the LA one.
Good luck for that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Here's the prizing that he got for first place. There you go. All right, so let's check it out.
Yeah, so I have the Queen here, so obviously Queen leader.
Yeah, what does it do again?
So the Queen leader is 1 Dawn when attacking. If you have 4 or less cards combined between your life and your hand, you can draw a card. Then if you also have an 8 cost or higher on the board, instead of drawing a card, you can gain that card as your life instead.
Is it random on the top of the deck?
It's from the top of the deck, yeah.
Okay.
Top of the deck to the life, yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you want to go down earlier, like in life?
Yes, 100%. So I'll get into it in a second, but my game plan is for the first 4 turns, I'm pretty much taking every life, and I'm just filling up with blockers.
Okay.
I'm just building a wall. So that way...
Building a wall.
Yeah, so that way when we get to my 8, 9, 10 Dawn turn, my Yamatos are getting their effect immediately.
Got it.
My leader's getting the effect immediately. And also taking life too is playing, you'll see I have a lot of blocker triggers, so it's playing a lot of blockers out already. So it's just filling out my board, getting ready for that turn. And then that's once I get to 10 Dawn turn, that's when I start to turn it around and gain the life back up.
There you go. Okay, good strats. Okay, so let's check out the deck profile.
So the deck profile, so I'll start first with the big bodies. We do 4 Katakuri, we do 4 Yamato, and we do 4 Mihawk.
There you go.
So I think this is pretty much a standard. There aren't any other big bodies that I can think of that work in the Queen, like the 10 cost Big Mom, I guess, but you wouldn't get the effect. Otherwise, you need to be playing this.
Do you want to keep any of these cards in your opening hand?
Actually do, yeah, you do. Usually 1 or 2, and it depends on what matchup you're going against, which ones are better. So it is very interesting.
Okay.
So for example, Yamato and Mihawk are great into like Big Mom, because your Yamatos, especially with them gaining life. I had a game this week, or the second round, where 2 turns in a row he played a 10 cost Big Mom, and he had 10 life, I had 0, and I played 2 turns in a row in Yamatos to pop his 10 cost Big Moms.
Oh, nice.
And gain 2 life then the next turn.
Wow.
So it's insane. So Mihawk is great into like into Whitebeard as well, just bomb decking all their stuff. Same, Mihawk is great into the Rebecca, even though I know it bomb decks Rebecca like the 7 cost Luffy, they can get to it. It takes them a little while to dig again.
Yeah.
And same 8 cost is great into Rebecca as well, playing those Luffy's in life. It also gets your Yamato stronger to then pop bigger things. So I'm usually getting my opponent to like 8, 9 life, letting Yamato get a couple pops, wait until I get 3 big bodies on the board, then I start maybe chipping away once I've controlled the board. So that's kind of the game plan. But
cool, awesome.
Yeah, these you can't cut any of these.
So 4 of everything. Okay.
So next we're gonna do a lot, which is the blockers, I believe. Yeah. So we're doing 4 1 cost laws.
There you go.
We're gonna do 4 boas.
Okay. Off the life.
4 boas. The yellow counterpart.
Oh.
4 brulee.
Okay. 3 blockers.
Then we're doing 4 Dofi.
Okay.
Then we're doing 4 pound.
Pound Town.
And then we're doing 3 Sanji.
3 Sanji. Okay.
So these I think are all pretty standard. Well, there's a couple that are spicy here, but the bottom row here is pretty standard.
Okay.
These are just fantastic. You're gaining life. Playing these off of the trigger is it's fantastic. The 1 cost blocker is great as well. You can play a lot of your 9 cost characters and this as well. So if you have too many cards in hand, it's the equivalent to gaining life because you're just gaining a blocker that's then going to take off a swing. Same with if you play an 8 cost Katakuri, then you can play this and gain life. So he's just great to fit into the curve wherever you can. Dofi as well. The stacking of life, so you can stack your triggers, is just so fantastic in this deck.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah. These are the 2 that are a little. I think there's a little wiggle room. So I play the pound. It's great into aggros, like into Zoro. I just love stacking their buggies, their Zoros, whatever, and also gaining life is making my Yamatos bigger. So even into the what I was mentioning before, the second round where I play against the Big Mom, I was just stacking their puddings, the 1-cost puddings into their life. That's how they got to 10 life, so then I could start my Yamato's popping their 10-cost Big Moms.
Very cool. Okay.
And then the Sanji, this used to be the 2-cost Big Mom blocker, which I like a little better to fit into the curve. But I've replaced with Sanji because I was running into a lot of issues with having too big of a hand and just like getting clogged up with 8 and 9 costs.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get down to 4 or less between my hand and life. So actually having the trigger is great to just discard a card to get your hand a little lower to get the queen effect quicker. It's just good also, it dodges some of the removal, being a higher cost body and a higher cost card, and then it can swing into stuff as well. So I was a little hesitant with the discarding the card, but it's actually a benefit, I think, more than a negative. And just having other triggers is fantastic.
Okay. All right.
So those are all the blockers that I have. Next, really quick, shoot Perona as well, just a little extra stack. It's great as well with, you can play Perona and then Yamato, so you can stack the life you're gaining. It's great to weave into a little more stacking. And that's also good if you to have a little bit more of the stacking card than just the Doflamingo, because then if you get a bad top 5 with the first card, you can play another one to restack. So just seeing that a little more is
very
really
cool. All right.
Then for the 2K counters, we have the 4 Kaya.
Makes sense.
And we have the 4 Capone.
There you go.
So Capone is pretty much obvious. 2K counter, has a trigger effect, stop attacks, which is fantastic in this deck. The Kaya is actually really good as well. Not only just for being a 2K counter, I do play her more often than you would think, just to fix my hand. There's a lot of times I get clogged and I'm looking for a specific type of removal or something like that, or just to play her that I can filter my hand and then get to 1 less card in between my hand and life to get back to the queen effect. It's just good all around.
It makes sense.
So those are the 2K counters I play. And then I'm not playing a lot of 2K counters as well, because with Queen, you're not playing to count, like I'm not counting out a bunch of stuff. I'm playing number of attacks. So between gaining life every turn, they gotta usually swing 2 or 3 attacks every turn to my blockers. So I don't care how much they're swinging for, I'm just going for number of attacks. And because I'm doing a lot of removal, I'm getting a lot of their bodies out of the way. So they usually can only do big attacks anyways.
Right.
So that's why it's a little less 2K counter. So if you're ever going to Queen, more attacks going wide is the best way to counter it. So just kind of a
tip
heads up on that. Then for the events, I have 4 Red Rock.
Yes, best card.
And then 1 Gum Gum Rain.
Okay.
So the Red Rock is obvious. It's for anything that because my 8-9 cost can pretty much take care of everything except for really the separate 9-10 cost. So like the 10 cost Big Moms, if their life isn't big enough, the 10 cost Doflamingos I've been seeing a lot. That is just a staple. 10 cost Kaidos, like this is just a staple in this deck.
Very sure.
And then the Gum Gum Rain, this was the 2 cost blocker, the Big Mom blocker I had. I took 3 out for the Sanji, and then 1 I took out for Gum Gum Rain. Same thing, just sometimes my hand gets clogged, I want to get lower. Gives me 1 extra thing to just discard card, get lower hand, so I can start using my queen effect.
Okay.
And that's the deck.
Wow. Okay. Do you feel pretty good about doing well with this deck?
Yeah, I feel like the deck's really strong to pretty much everything. It's a lot of learning the matchup though. So there's two things kind of you need to learn. One is how every card interacts with each other, because there's a lot of times where I was lucky today I didn't make any screw ups. There's a lot of times in the past I've done screw ups where, like, for example, I gain a life and then try to play Yamato and it's like, oops, I'm now up to 2 life, I can't gain another life. Or how many times you swing with Queen and then oops, I don't have any 8 or 9 costs on board just because I assume I always do. And now I have to draw the card instead of game. So just making sure you have all those, or the same when you're stacking and you're playing your stack of the top 5 cards, and then after 1 turn it gets out of order a little bit. Now all the triggers that you stack to gain in your life are off order. So it's a lot of making sure that's all straight. So it's a lot like law in that sense of just like trying to keep everything straight. And then the other one is just trying to figure out when to go for life and when to hold up. And not even like, obviously you control board first. Your first priority is just always control board, clear board as much as possible. But even when they start to build a board, so if they play a couple characters, like they play a Nami or something like that, a 3-cost Nami in green, how many times do I want to waste, or like if I have a Red Rock, do I waste the Red Rock on that, or do I just hold up everything, let them like wait until they get to almost no cards, so they play Nami, then maybe draw 1 more card? Do I wait and hold the Red Rock for the 10-cost Doflamingo, or do I let the Nami come in and like and then swing back on it as well? So it's learning that in terms of like trying to when to put your foot on the gas and when to let off on the gas a little bit.
That's good.
And playing that game. And really, this is all about clearing their board, gaming to no
Balance.
cards, and then swinging a bunch of 9Ks.
Yeah, balance.
And then usually what I do as well is I try to balance 3 high cost cards and then 2 blockers. So, and then by the end of the game, maybe that's where I get 4 or 5 of my big cost cards. But that's usually why I wait until I have 3 big cards before I start doing any big swinging and stuff like that.
Real quick, what was your matchups? Round 1, round 2, round 3?
Round 3, I just played a Lucci, which is actually kind of surprising. He almost beat me with the Rush Lucci cards he was playing. So that one came close.
Okay.
Round 2 was against Katakuri.
Okay.
That was the one where I got him up to 10 life. My Yamatos are popping and taking big bombs. Round 1 was against Doflamingo, the green-purple Doflamingo.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, so yeah, thank you for the deck profile, sir, and hopefully I see you more in the future.
All right, thank you, man.
All right,
All right, take care.